went to Nigeria and I spoke up for those more than 200 girls who were abducted by Boko Haram, which is just like a militant group like the Taliban. And they do not believe in any rights for women, and they do not believe in education for women and for equality. And they are as brutal as like any kind of Satan or any kind of Talib. And when I went there on my birthday, I made a wish that I wish that my sisters, my Nigerian sisters, they return back home, they come to their home safely and they continue their education. And we have started projects there as well for those girls who have escaped from the abduction. And we also support other girls as well who have other problems in getting education because they need security as well. They need other basic facilities like the proper books and chairs and classrooms. So they have the facilities that they can continue their education. These were our projects in Nigeria, and we want to continue it, and we want to do more. I'm also continuing my own education. I'm going to a very good school in the UK, and well, I always say it, I hope my father won't mind. If he does, that's fine. We always talk about equality and like equal rights for girls, for boys sometimes, but my brother, he goes to a mixed school, and I go to a girls' school. So I told my father, like, it's totally discrimination. My brother can go to a mixed school where both girls and boys are there, and you are sending me to girls' school only. But then I said, my school is good. It has like amazing staff and amazing students and teachers, so that's why I'll forgive you. So I'm continuing my education. I hope that I will get quality education, and I'm really interested in politics. I know it's considered a bit kind of bad thing, but politics is the way through which you can help your country. When you become the prime minister, you can bring great changes in your law, in your constitution, in your, you can start many good projects, you can help your people. So I'm hopeful that someone will vote for me and someone will elect me. I wanted to share my story for the reason to tell you that I'm just like you. I'm not a special girl. I have some weaknesses, and I have some good things as well. One of my weaknesses is that I fight with my brothers all the time. And I like cricket. Well, my brother thinks that I can't play it well, but I am good at it. I think so. And I can play badminton, and I'm good in cricket. And yesterday, I met an amazing person whom I could not imagine that I would meet ever in my life. I met Brian Lara. And well, I know you would know his records, like more than 400 runs and remained not out, and like the highest scores ever in cricket. So he is an amazing cricketer, and I love cricket. And yesterday, I learned some very good things from him, even though he was saying it to my brother, but I picked it up. And he was saying that when you start learning, you learn it step by step. If I think that I want to change the world in 2 seconds, it can't really be done if you look at the reality. So we have to do things step by step. If I want to be a good cricket player like Brian Lara, I can't do it in this 1 second. I have to look at my age, how much I have done practice, and how much I'm able to do. So he said, like, when you are 15, compare yourself to the students who are at the age of 15, compare yourself to the boys and girls who are at the age of 16. So look at your age group and compare yourself to them. Like, don't think like you would be a superstar in 2 seconds or you would be an expert in 2 seconds. And so that's what I learned from him. And other than that, my brother asked him that sometimes when there is like a very serious moment in the cricket field, a ball is coming and the fielder has to catch it. But he said that sometimes I think that if I don't catch the ball, then the people would think like that cricket player is not a good player. So he said, like, I don't really catch the ball and I get scared of it. Brian Lara told him that if you want to be a good cricketer or a good person, you have to prepare yourself for the most dangerous or for the most difficult time in your life. This is how you can improve yourself. This is how you can empower yourself. This is what I learned from him, not in like terms of cricket, but in terms of like my own life. So I should be ready for every difficult time in my life. And this is a message to you as well, to make yourself well prepared and ready, and to embrace like the strength within yourselves, and to be ready, like how to overcome fear. Be ready for it. Because when I was in SWAT, I had fear in my heart, but my courage was so strong that it defeated the fear. So our courage should be stronger than our fear. And this is what I learned from him. So thank you so much to him. Well, I was discussing that none of us, I think, would be perfect. We all have some weaknesses. I have a lot of weaknesses. I have things which like girls don't like, or everyone wouldn't like, because I'm only 5 feet tall. Is it tall? So, I might not look good. I might not like my hair color. I may not like my nose. I would be like a normal girl. But the thing is that we all have weaknesses. But we should look at the special things we have. We should ignore our weaknesses. If we can overcome that, it would be great. Because I know that we all are special. We have some special qualities. I may not be good in singing, but I might be good as a painter. I may not be good as a doctor, but I may be good as an engineer. So we have to recognize. We have to recognize what skills do we have, what talent do we have. And this is where we learn in school. When we go to school, we discover the skills and the talents within ourselves. So, like, we should all respect each other and respect the good things about ourselves. And we should not be thinking that, oh, that person is better than me, because we all have something special. So, like, be hopeful and never get sad and never lose hope. And I'm hopeful that all of you, as I saw incredible singers and dancers and musicians, I know that you would be great stars for tomorrow, and you would make your nation proud. As my father already discussed, and the Minister of Education also said, in this country you get quality education. It is free from the primary level up to the tertiary, and even to the graduate level. And in the postgraduate level, they also like help you in the half of the paying and etc. So you are really lucky that you have free education. And I think this is a great opportunity for you to focus more on your education and to continue it. Because we should not forget that there are 57 million children who are out of school and who really need support. So what you have got, you should be thankful for it, and you should focus on it. And as well as the young generation, you are the ones who make the country. And you will be the future of this country. You are the future of this country. And you need to start contributing to your society from right now. If you do one good thing, it can give smile to many, many people. But if you do one bad thing, it can make people sad, and it can give tears to people. So be good. Be good to your friends. Be good to your neighbors. Be good to the people who you see in your surrounding. Respect them. Try to be kind to them. Just give them a smile, because this is how we are going to live a happy life. If I'm just ignoring a person who is next door to me, who is poor, who needs my support, then I'm also teaching it to my children, to my grandchildren, and they will follow the same way in which I'm treating others. So the thing is that if we want others to be good to us, then we should be good to them. If I want my neighbor to be kind to me, then I should be kind to my neighbor. So treat others the way you want them to treat you. And this is how we are going to make a good society, and this is what we learn in our schools and when we get quality education. So focus on your education and make your country proud, which you are already doing. And I'm hopeful that this country will be a great country, and it is already. And I learned a lot from it, even though, because whenever I go to a country, it's basically for a purpose that in this country, children are out of school, but in this country, about like 99% children are in school. But I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn how education has changed the country and how education has contributed to the progress of this country. So thank you so much once again. And I'll finish with the lines with which I finished my UN speech. That is, one book, one pen, one child, and one teacher can change the world. Thank you.